Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 32, I believe. Welcome to episode 32 of Captain of Industry. Now, in our last episode, we did do some fiddling around with our rail system um, because it wasn't working correctly. And I've noticed as I've gone and done this again, um, there isn't really too much moving. Like, for instance, our rock over here has no rock whatsoever. Yet, if we have a look over here, we've got plenty of rock here. Um, so I don't know exactly what that's about, but what we might try to do to fix it is if we just get rid of that station and re-add that station. No, apparently not. Apparently it doesn't want to. This is going to go pick up some sand. But I can't seem to get any of these other trains to move to go and pick up that rock there. So what we might do is now I don't know if I were to delete this whole thing, if all those trains will go into something else. No, they actually didn't. There you go. Well, that's all right. We have unassigned trains. So we'll add new network. This is going to be network one. And we'll go ahead and just add all of those to network one. We'll actually delete that line one too. Should be able to just do that with all of these. There we go. Are they moving now? Oh, interesting. Well, actually, I should probably go ahead and add some stations to it, I think. That would probably help, wouldn't it? So we'll add that one, we'll add that one. Those are the only two there. We also need to add those ones onto it. Not those ones, actually. Um, let's go ahead and just remove those and just add that one onto there because that's the actual station. Because their fuel station's there. We can go ahead and add that one onto it. And we also need to add that one and that one onto it. I don't think we need to add anything else. Now we obviously need to add our fuel stations here. Go ahead over here and add those in as well. Which can be that one as well. And then obviously all of the waiting bays just there. Okay, let's see what is going on now. He's heading somewhere else. Yeah, interesting. I don't know why they're not picking up the rock. Let's just see if maybe we can get him to just pick up rock. Just see if he will. Because yeah, they should be... they should be picking up the rock. Which is what I don't understand. Is why aren't they? Like, there's plenty of rock here for him to pick up. In fact, it is almost full. And down here, they're requesting it. There we go. What about if we do that? And what about if we do that? Okay, what about if we do that? I've noticed not enough fuel to refuel the vehicles. Okay, so it looks like we have a fuel shortage. Right, so vehicles can't get in or out of here. So let's go ahead and just fix that up real quick. It's probably going to be a little bit of fixing up some problems here with this episode. Um, there we go. How's that? Where are yous? What yous can't fit through here? Oh, yeah, okay, I see what's going on. So they used to be able to go through here, and obviously now they can't. Um, right, so let's go ahead and do some modifications here. So how does this go? So if we can run some of those just there, we can knock that one out, knock that one out. Where does that actually go? That's for there. So could we maybe add something to there? No, it's going to want to do that. Okay, what about if we put that there? There we go. That gives them access. And then if we go ahead and do that, that opens that up. How are we looking now? Um, yes. Looks like they can get through there now. Cool. That was worrisome. And it's obviously because we've now taken out the chunk of this. Well, obviously they can't get through there now. So we finally did take away that ramp. So it is no longer there. Um, so it means their only access route is this road here until we push back here. Um, but yeah, I'm probably half thinking if we actually do build a ramp on the other side here, probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Um, let's just see how steep we can sort of get it. We can get it, we can get it pretty well there. Um, might just have to. Let's go ahead and just clear that for now. Get them to stop working with that. Um, only because we'll start making a ramp down here. That way they can get access. I think that's a +3 there. It is. Okay. We can go ahead and just do that and connect that up like so. And then we'll build our ramp off to the side here, but we'll just get these guys starting to clear that for us just to make that a little bit easier. Because that is a pretty long trip just to get round there. Um, especially to just go over to the copper. In fact, how are these guys looking? They got a little bit to mine in that corner and then they will be sorted. These guys are still doing a good chunk of mining here. In fact, we are clearing out a lot of iron ore here. I'm almost thinking just to try and help get rid of this iron. if we just start stockpiling it somewhere. Um, where that's going to be, I'm not 100% sure just yet. Or we can just start using it, which I think is probably the best idea. So let's go ahead and just start. Uh, Actually, before we do that, yeah, this is now starting to fill up. So let's do, um, let's just do this then. So I know we've got that there. Oh, that's not going to probably be too happy. Let's go ahead and just remove that and remove that as well. Go ahead and just pop that in there. We can remove that one. We'll go ahead and just remove that to there. Um, we'll need to connect those up. I'm just making this a separate station. Okay. That's going to be a bit of an issue. So let's go ahead and just, in fact, wipe all of that out there. We'll wipe that out up to there. And we'll go ahead and just grab that. Chuck that into there. Nice. And we'll just quick build that one as well. And we'll go ahead with just connecting this up here. Something like that. Should be able to get a pretty nice connection just into there. Cool, which it does. Alright, so that's that set up. We'll go ahead and with that network, need to add that station onto it. And then we're just going to add a new line onto here. And we're going to call this our rock line. Okay, so we'll add a stop, which is going to be that one. And then we will add our next stop, which is going to be over here with that. Interesting. So now I'm just wondering, that's on line 2 there. None of this is on line 2. If I were to add that back and go back to here and there we go. Okay. Yeah, we can go ahead and just remove that because we don't need that. And chuck that one back there. Okay, now if we go ahead and grab some of our trains here. Where is some of our big trains at? It'd be network 2, wouldn't it? Network 2's got all the small ones. There it is. So Send that to line 2. There we go. We'll let that big train constantly run. Um, Now with that, we should also be able to. An error line has more than one stations that were destroyed. Yeah, that's all right. So we'll go ahead and just clear that. We're also going to add a stop, and it's going to park here. Waypoint station. Actually, so we got this on network 1. I did take this away, didn't I? Did I? You know what I just realized? That station wasn't even added. Yeah, interesting. They're still not. They're still not moving. Okay. Yeah, interesting. I have no clue what is going on with that, but we do know that this train is all full. Oh, he's driving to there. Okay, so skip if next train can accept next station can accept this train. So let's do that. That should theoretically help it keep running here. That should help get rid of half the stone we have here, and we do also have a lot of iron as well. So that should hopefully help out with that. And then we can also go ahead and we should also add this station here. Oh, here we go. Um, yeah, okay, that should be fine. Um, oh no, I've added that into the wrong thing. Add that as the stop, and this is refuel and skip. Only stop there. Yeah, so only trains are allowed there when they're below 30% fuel. So that's all I want. Okay, that should sort that out. This is going to be rock. There we go. Okay, cool. And he's just pretty much going to go constantly back and forth, get all this stuff out here and work that magic. Now, still got an issue with fuel. It seems like these vehicles here have somehow got themselves stuck on this wall, and I don't know exactly why they decide to ride up the wall like that, but it is very annoying when they do. Now, I'm not 100% sure if, yeah, they're not going to be able to get through that gap there. Yeah, it's a no-go. They can't get through there, so they'll have to just wait until these guys have finished this, which won't take too long then. They've gone pretty far so far, which is good. Copper also has no areas to mine in. Okay. Oh, shall we just have a bit of a look at this? That should hopefully help out with that. There's our dirt ball. Yeah, she's pretty full. In fact, we could almost move it over a bit if we wanted to. And yeah, actually we're fairly full there too, which is really good. What did you just load up with? Gravel. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You didn't just load up completely with gravel, or you did too. Oh, you. Hmm. Um, because I have a feeling he's gonna go and drop that over here. I mean, gravel's not a. It's not the end of the world, but whether these will actually accept gravel, I'm not. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, he's now going to go park up here. Oh no. He's going to park up at the waypoint station. And arrival conditions not met. What are you trying to go and achieve? Yeah. You're not supposed to go there because you don't have. This is why this line stuff. I don't like this line stuff. So let's go ahead and just delete that whole thing. Um. Look, I don't know exactly how to. This is line 3. Don't create a new line. Create a new network, and we're going to call this the rock. Yeah, rocks is fine. We can go ahead. We can add that station there. We can also go ahead and add this station here. We'll add this as our fuel station. We're going to add this last bay here as the waiting. Actually, you know what? We'll take the last 6 there. We'll assign that to, why did I not change? So ROCK. And we'll change it to like a grey color. Do we have like a grey? Okay, so we'll just go black and white then. We'll assign that train to it. Now, I'm not 100% sure how to get rid of all that rock now. Oh man. Um, where am I going to get rid of that? Do I just set all these to gravel real quick? He's going to accept one as gravel. I guess if we just accept every second one as gravel. We'll set the first 4 as gravel. And then we'll change it around back to the rock as soon as he's just gone and done that. So we'll have to change this to gravel as well. This one to gravel. Okay, he should be heading over here now, which he is. Okay, where is he exactly going? Oh, so he's heading over there. He reckons that way is quicker. Even though there's more turns there than what he had to, what he could have got away with, but we'll let him do his own networking. Just to get rid of all that gravel, because I'm hating it. Because this train's not moving. We're building up with rock. This is now starting to get full of rock. It's already full of iron. And I'm trying to get rid of all the rock from here and the iron as well, obviously. And it is making it very hard to be able to do that. So the quicker we can get this train unloaded, the quicker we can change it back to rock. The quicker we can process and start getting the refinery set up, which has been in the planning for that long. Okay, last two, and we'll set this up. Okay, that can go there. Hurry up and pump that stuff out of there. I mean, surely it can't go any slower, right? Oh, it's almost empty. I could, just to help make it a little bit quicker, just hook one line up to here. You can see the gravel's now going down here, which it looks exactly the same as rock. I'm not really noticing like much difference to it. I mean, the gravel obviously looks just a little bit finer, but compared to the rock, there's not really much difference. Okay, we can go ahead and just get rid of that line there since we don't need it now. Okay, we can see we're not filling up 100%. That's because we haven't got any of these hooked up. So we'll go and hook these up real quick. There we go. And in fact, we will go ahead and add this train onto the rock network too. And we'll go ahead and add this one as well. Yeah, man, we have so many different trains here. And we did see, what's he going to pick up exactly? Gonna go pick up some more sand. Okay. Sorry about that. It is currently midnight for me, so it's the only time I've sort of been recording uh, and trying to get stuff done during the day. We'll go ahead and I guess while that's all working now, it's definitely running. Yeah, we can definitely see we've got the trains filling up all of the cargo here. Or all the stations filling up the cargo, sorry. There he goes. You know, just for the fact of we've got them here, they're not really doing too much. We'll go ahead and just add two more onto you, because why not? Um, I did add a fuel line to that, didn't I? Yes. Yes, I did. Okay, cool. That's all right. Now that should help out a lot more with trying to get that rock definitely out of there. The iron ore on the other side of it, we need to try and start using that up. So let's go ahead and actually, what are we at? We're at 30 minutes. All right, let's leave this episode here. I know it was probably a little bit boring, but trying to get all this train stuff set up and a bit of fine tuning is definitely part of this game. Um, but in our next episode, we're definitely going to be working on this refinery. I think we've got everything set up now. We might just have to send a few more things over there to help out with that, which is actually going to be limestone. Um, so we might actually even change that to limestone because we don't really need sand over here. So let's go ahead and we'll change that to that limestone. And we'll just figure out where we're going to put that sand. Um, we'll let that go into there. We should see some trucks on their way to drop that limestone over. Which there's one right there. He's got a bit of dirt and rock, so that's fine. But yeah, we'll just clear all this out and select these as limestone. Because that's what we're actually going to need, not sand. So I don't know why exactly I've brought sand over here, but we have so much sand. So we'll just go ahead and just quick remove them. Just set that as none. Quick remove that and then cancel the demolition. And we'll change that to limestone. Change this to limestone. And for this station here, we'll change these to limestone as well. There we go. Cool. That should keep things moving. And we should definitely be having quite a bit of limestone getting sent over because that is what we actually need to make this stuff. If we have a quick look at these new recipes for molten material, so molten copper needs sand, so we actually do need to send sand over. Graphite. I wonder if it'll just be worth going to arc furnaces. I mean, we're not really making graphite yet, so we probably won't do that. But we are going to need sand over there. We obviously need sand over there to make our glass as well. For iron, we need the limestone. Silicon, we're not quite at silicon yet, but silicon needs sand as well as coal and graphite to make the poly or molten silicon, which will then turn into poly. And our molten steel obviously is just molten iron plus oxygen. So yeah, we'll definitely look at that in the next episode, obviously. But yeah, we'll get this stuff flowing through here with a bit of build up. And we'll leave that for the next episode. But yeah, hopefully we can start working some of this stuff out. But there is so much iron over here that we're blocking the system up with the coal as well. In fact, let's just have a quick look at that because it's literally only a matter of time before we start destroying some of this stuff here. And one thing I don't want to do is destroy that just yet. Alright, how are we going with this? This is slowly getting there. Once this is open, then our SQAs over here will be able to go ahead and finish that. We can see the copper is now starting to get dug into, which is good. Our food levels are pretty good. Sulfur, the coal's pretty good. In fact, our sulfur is 100% full. Now, it's not really an issue having our sulfur full, because if we look at our fuel gas, for instance, our fuel gas is currently being turned into fuel or into our diesel. So even though we've got that blocked up and we're not necessarily making it, we're actually using our fuel gas, which is good. We can also use naphthalene if we need to make fuel, but I presume we would be burning it. Actually, I'm surprised none of these are actually running. In fact, we're only just running off the one. Yeah, we're only running off one here. That there is what we're going to be after to generate more power. Actually, we can definitely get to there, but we need tier 2, which is what these, I believe, require to repair. Yes, they're tier 2 requirements. And to make that maintenance tier 2, we need the electronics tier 2, which I think is just PCBs, I think they are. But we'll definitely work on this. I'm probably thinking we might move this system from here. Yeah, let's just do a bit of planning in this episode. So we will go ahead and start clearing out some of this stuff here that we don't need. So these here are just a nuisance. They're a waste of copper, waste of coal, sorry. And we don't need them. We're making our own water here to a point that we actually do not need these at all. So we go ahead and just get rid of those. I'll have to let that water tank slowly empty. So we're going to say do not import anymore. And for our water system that travels here, we'll just switch this pipe around and we'll just move some of the stuff that's here that we don't need. What else we got? So we got all of these here. We can knock all that out. In fact, we can just do something like that. Salt. Where does that salt go? I think the salt is over here. Yeah. We can make more salt. Doesn't necessarily have to be made here. But we do have our chlorine here. So that's not a problem. We can definitely make a small system just to run here for now. But we don't need this massive system that we did have. Because yeah, it's a waste of materials and there's really no need for it. When we've got a better system that runs cleaner, it doesn't require coal. It does require coal, but it doesn't require much coal. And in fact, it uses steam and a lower amount of steam to make it. Okay, so what do we got here? So we got that pipe that goes to somewhere, which goes to there. We got this pipe that goes to there. We got this pipe that goes to there, and we got that pipe there. Okay, so that's now empty. So what we can go ahead and do now is switch that pipe around. let's just do that. Why are we doing that? It's just makes no sense to do it that way. We'll go ahead and just do it that way. Okay, now what do we got going on here? So for this pipe here, need to flip it around and it goes into there. So we'll go ahead and remove that from there. And what we will do is connect that up into, let's just go there. Sorry about that, had a bit of a sneeze there. So we'll put that into there like so. Get that quick built. Now we've got priority in, so we'll leave that as a priority in. And then we've got obviously all of our outs as well. Is that a max belt? It is. They're all maxed out as well. So that should hopefully keep that running. Yeah, our fuel gas is full, so we're going to need to make ourselves a line that goes down here. We need to get rid of this sulfur. So let's chuck just 2 more of them there. We'll quick build those. That should hopefully send that boat off again then. Yeah, look how quick that's filling up. Yeah, so that should help out with that once we get that done. And we might look at that. That is a nice cut. It's almost on that point there. So what we might do is we might get these guys to mine that out next. There's only a little bit there, so we'll get them to start doing that. And that should hit that top point there, hopefully. If I haven't miscalculated that, which I probably have. Yeah, look at that. They're slowly getting through, which is good. So that should hopefully start getting rid of that sulfur. The ammonia is obviously full as well. Sulfur's full. Ammonia's full. Water's not full, thankfully. Heavy oil's full. You can see our boat's just been sent off. It should be back soon. Yeah, I'm surprised that we haven't been actually burning. Okay, I can see why we haven't been burning. It's actually because of that sulfur being full, it's now actually just messed us up here. So what we'll do is we'll just set that a little bit higher. Should hopefully get some trucks on that pretty quick. Just to help knock that out. Yeah, because we are producing sulfur, like a lot more sulfur now. So we do need to keep an eye on that. Another thing we have to keep an eye on is as we're mining this. Luckily that is the end, because we're probably going to have to start mining on the inside before we start touching this side, because I have a feeling that that's going to touch the houses and cause a little bit of an issue. Because, yeah, that actually it might not touch the houses, but it'll definitely destroy our pipes there. We don't want that at all. We'll let them just keep mining away there. Oh, they missed a little bit over here. They didn't even finish. What the hell? Why did they not finish that for? Oh well, guess you can't always win. Um, yeah, so it looks like that's building up. For our fuel gas, we definitely need to start sending it down here because we are definitely starting to chop into that fuel gas. That's for sure. Um, yeah. Um, I think we're running fine now. I think. I might just actually pause that line for now, only to try and prevent. Actually, no, we're not really. Actually, unpause that. What am I doing here? What what did I do there? Is it that line that's paused? Yeah, we'll unpause that line just to get that burning. Okay, there we go. No, got a little bit more heavy oil in here. There we go. There goes the heavy oil, I think. And there goes that stuff. Cool. Alright. So it should be fine now. Cool. So they're all running pretty smoothly. We're definitely recouping a bit of water still, which is good. In fact, it's hard to tell if we're actually building water or if we're losing water now. I think we might be just sitting at a happy medium. You may need to add more in there. We're not 100% sure just yet, but we might need to add some more onto there. How are we going here? Oh yeah, we can see we've got some excavators working on this side now. Actually, he's been working there for a little bit by the looks of that. Been doing a little bit of clearing himself, which is not bad. That's pretty good. He's helping out the team, keeping things rolling. But we have definitely taken, in fact, most of this coal. There isn't really too much left. Actually, no, there is quite a bit of a chunk in there still, but we'll be clearing that out. We're not going to be leaving much coal left. And then the plan will probably be to level this all out, probably with rock for the base, and then we'll build it back up to dirt. And we'll probably have our farms over here and our people from over here. We'll just build our city up. And if we keep the city over here and the rest of it over here, we should be pretty well sorted. You see all of our trains are all parked up. What's he taking? Limestone. Cool, so he's slowly building up our limestone. But yeah, okay, I think we might leave this episode here. I think we're pretty much sorted. We've obviously just got to add that one more stop in for that sand, obviously, um, which we could even just add here if we wanted to. Yeah, let's see if we can just do that. Do I have any? I do. I can add 4 of those, and we'll change those to sand. Cool. And we'll add our other station over here. So we'll just do something like that. Obviously flip it around. And what's the gap we're leaving in there? Pretty big gap. Yeah, we can go something like that. And add 2 more onto there. And obviously connect up our rails here. There we go. Should be fine. And then we'll go ahead and connect our rails up to there. I didn't set those as sand. There we go. That should be fixed. So we can go ahead and add that to the network. I think that's network 2, it is. Add that one onto there. And add that onto there. Even though I did want that as a separate one, but I don't think we're going to fit another station into there, so that's not a problem. We'll go ahead and just put a big loose storage here just so it can at least, I don't know, start collecting the sand up. There we go. Oh, there we go. We've got some trucks heading straight there for the sand. They were just ready to go. How many trucks do I actually have on the sand here too? Let's go ahead and just add a couple more onto there. And we'll go ahead and just make something like that. And hopefully the water doesn't actually get into there. So we'll just take it back a little bit. Just because how close that water will be once we do take that wall out. And that sand is bright for me. Like I did say in many episodes ago, I do play with HDR on, which makes everything a lot brighter for me. So me looking at this sand right now, and especially if I'm looking at it on this angle, it is glowing like molten gold. It is that bright. Yeah, it is bright. We can go ahead and just fill in there as well. I don't really care what that is going to be. I'm not really too phased. What that's that tower, isn't it? Yeah, so we can go ahead and just bring that in a bit. Do something like this here. Just till they finish that off. And we'll keep it going out here. But we'll start dumping some dirt over here. So in order to do that, Need to go ahead and just add a point into here. Um, you know what? We'll go ahead and add 1 point there, and we'll go ahead and just add another point just into here, like so. There we go. And we'll get them to start dumping some dirt out here. Just trying not to clear out too much, just because I do want to get this all covered up here. It's going to take a little bit of time though. In fact, if we just were to cover this one side, which I did just mess that up a little bit. There we go. That can be one side, and I'm sure they can just leave that as a ramp there. And in fact, we can come out a little bit further, I think. We'll leave that as a ramp for them so they can get around. Actually, is that a ramp there? Can they use that? No, I don't think we've actually got a ramp there. So let's just go ahead and just remove all of this here. I don't want them building up anymore. Go ahead and I guess just get that leveled out. And try and get as much of this leveled out as possible. Actually, just because that is all rough there, that actually isn't really going to be too much of an issue. That's a little bit higher, but it's not nothing we can't work with. Maybe that might be. We might find that that's going to cause us possibly an issue or two. But there's only one way to find out, and that's by obviously doing it. Okay. Right. Now, what do we got going on up here? Yeah, due to uneven ground, we already know that. Someone decided they wanted to put some stuff there. What do we got? Something outside mining towers. Yeah, that is fine. They will fix that up themselves. Yeah, we're definitely pushing this back, which is a very good sign. How are we going for our wood being emptied out over here? It's actually really good. In fact, all of this has been emptied out completely. So we can go ahead and just destroy that. And the plan is to take out this stuff here when we get to it. Because yeah, this just takes up way too much space and not really too happy with it. But we'll redesign all this and make a better system. It's done the job so far, but yeah, it still needs a lot of work. But when this episode here, I think we've done enough of the things we have to do. But yeah, as I said earlier, in the next episode, we will definitely start building this refinery, at least get it underway. But with all that out of the way, thank you again so much for watching. If you are enjoying the content, please consider hitting that like button as well as subscribing. It gets my channel out to new people who enjoy watching this content. But with all that out of the way, thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.